feel like we decided to pick Kanvi due to the fact that we saw the value in the company and everything you did, from the floor joists to the spray foam, all the little things that you guys put as a standard, we saw value in, whereas the other companies, we would have to pay extra for those standards, right? And on top of that, it came down to flexibility. We went through so many different floor plan changes, and not one time was there any issue or any pullback from your end. So that made it very easy for us to make a decision, right? When there's a difference between levels of customer service, we obviously would choose the best customer service, because when we're building a home, we want to be able to have that customer service for the whole process, right? So huge factor, I'd say, would be the flexibility and the customer service that we receive from Kanvi, and then also the value that Kanvi delivers and the execution of how they build homes.
Yeah, so you guys have a designer right in-house, so whenever we made any changes, you brought that right back to him, and he was able to make those changes so we could actually see them, right? So we could actually kind of imagine them a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was nice because we knew exactly what we were kind of going to be getting. Whereas when we went back and forth with other ones, it was kind of just like, make a note, make a note. We didn't actually know the exact square footage. We didn't know all the small details.
It's very rough and estimated.
Yeah, so it's awesome to have the designer on hand so that you could just send everything back. And we were probably like really picky, like we kept going back and forth. So we made so many changes, and Kanvi was so nice to make all those changes and sit with us and be really patient with us as we made all those changes.
Yeah, and it's tough as well. Seeing a floor plan is very hard to envision things, but having a drafter on hand that creates that image for you and lets you walk through it to make changes makes it easier to see what your future home's gonna look like.
Yeah, and with Kanvi, you guys even had recommendations for us. Like when we were like, oh, let's change this a bit, or let's change that, you're like, okay, well, it's totally your call, but like you guys offered us advice on what your professional opinion was, which is nice, because being a first-time home buyer, we don't have any experience or knowledge on what works and kind of what doesn't work, what you'd recommend, which was awesome.
Even the detail of the wrap was a huge thing, that MS wrap around the house to keep the foundation strong. Not lots of builders did it, or even knew what we were talking about when we brought it up to them. So that kind of stuff that came standard with Kanvi was a huge bonus for us. Okay, so the advice I give to a first-time home buyer would essentially be making sure you're comparing apples to apples, right? Make sure everything is comparable, because lots of time, like I said, if you're not diving into the spec sheets, seeing what the grade is on everything and what the standards are, that's where the variance is going to be.